A woman encountered a robbery while at work. The man pulled out a pistol and threatened her to hand over valuable items. Eddie walked over and saw this scene. He stepped in front of the woman, then looked carefully at the man before him, memorizing all his features.
Eddie gave des Denfulsmal.
For everyone's safety, he decided to first comply with the man's demands. He took the money from the cabinet and gave it to the man, also handing over the woman's ring. After the man drove away, Eddie memorized his license plate number. Before leaving work, Eddie went to the shelf and selected a hammer. On the way home, Eddie shared what happened that day with a friend. Just as they were saying goodbye, a car stopped beside them.
A man forcibly pulled a girl into the car.
Eddie tried to intervene, but the girl warned him not to act. They had guns. Eddie could only watch as they took the girl away. The next day at work, the woman opened her cabinet and found that the ring stolen the day before had been returned. She was overjoyed. Eddie cleaned the hammer and put it back on the shelf. That night, Eddie went to a restaurant. The boss told him that his friend had been beaten and was now in the hospital. When Eddie saw his friend lying in the hospital bed, the girl's friend told him that the girl had been beaten by her boss. Eddie went to the girl's boss's office with a business card. He took out $9,800 and offered it to the boss, hoping he would set the girl free. The boss scoffed, saying it was nowhere near enough. The girl could earn that for him in a single month. Knowing negotiation was useless, Eddie walked to the door, locked it, and looked at the people in the room without panic. He pressed the timer on his watch. When he got home, Eddie washed the blood off his hands. Because of this incident, Eddie was targeted by a man. The man found Eddie's figure through surveillance near the office and learned from the girl's friend that Eddie had asked about the girl. That night, while Eddie was reading in the restaurant, a man with a pistol approached him. Eddie glanced at his watch, carefully observed the man, and assessed his strength. He pressed the timer on his watch and neutralized the man before he could act. Eddie went outside and saw two men in a car. He took out his phone to photograph them, then quickly ran home. The man ordered his subordinates to chase him. Eddie treated his injuries in the bathroom. The man and his men arrived at Eddie's home. When they opened the bathroom door, it was empty. At that moment, Eddie was in the opposite building, watching everything on surveillance. He then contacted a friend who worked at the FBI. Through the photos, they identified the man as a retired Special Forces soldier, extremely dangerous. Eddie was also a trained agent and would not sit idly by. He went to the factory owned by the man, a place used for money laundering. The security supervisor, spotting Eddie as a stranger, aimed a pistol at him. Eddie swiftly disarmed the supervisor, subdued everyone, dispersed the workers, and called the police. On the other side, the man learned his factory had been raided and billions of dollars seized by the police. Furious, he arrived at the supermarket where Eddie worked with his men, ordering them to capture the staff as hostages. Suddenly, the lights went out. Eddie had turned off all the lights and merged into the darkness, beginning his hunt.